Hey everyone, and welcome to Team Amasian's recap results, all that good stuff about season 5 of Downton Abbey.
Oh, we just finished.
So we made it through about 8 episodes and a 90-minute Christmas episode.
Yep.
We didn't think we'd get through it in one day, but when you're halfway there, you're thinking, fuck it.
We're there.
We're there.
And you know what? I have to say, just starting off with this review, is that in my opinion, the season started off a little slow, but then episode 4 and it just like flew.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. By the way, Kaori Takee and Ann Campea.
Hi.
That's us. And Wakame over here, who's like, dude, you guys put me through so much right now.
She also enjoyed it.
I agree with you because it was kind of very slow paced. And then when we were about to be like, all right, this is our last episode, it was like, oh, hold up. We just got to watch one more.
Yeah.
One more. Well, fuck it. Let's watch the rest.
You know, they get you with it when it's like 8 episodes and then a 90-minute Christmas special. They really get you with that because it's like just long enough that you could sit like we did and marathon it.
Yep. And that being said, we highly recommend watching Downton Abbey with biscuits and tea and a lot of little snacks. And this is also going to be a spoiler-filled review of Season 5. So if you have not watched Downton Abbey Season 5 yet and you don't want to know what happened, watch this after. But if you just want to hear us talk and don't give a shit about Downton Abbey, then let's just do this.
Especially for all of you who are keeping up with the U.S. timing of it. Obviously, they're only on episode 3 or 4 right now, maybe 3. So apologies to you. Just bookmark this and come back once you've finished the season. But I'm sure everyone else who can't wait has watched it like we did.
Yeah. Well, that being said, let's talk about some of the storylines that really intrigued us or really disappointed us. Let's go upstairs first.
Okay.
First, we had... we're going down this Wikia list and trying to like gauge us through. There's Oliver and Zach Barker.
Oh, they play George.
George Crawl.
So I think we see George. He's obviously the baby of Matthew and Mary. He's a little older. All the kids are pretty old now. No, not old, but they're toddler age now.
Yeah,
right?
so let's talk about the kids real quick because we don't really see enough of them.
Right.
And
well, we see one in particular a lot.
Yeah, so let's talk about that kid.
Okay.
Because that's the kid that kind of is just really strange, the whole context. And we're talking about, obviously, Edith's child.
Marigold.
Yes, Marigold. And basically, Edith... Well, what do you think of this whole storyline where she wants to be part of that child's life so bad that she goes to a farmer's family, pretty much ruins their marriage.
Yeah.
Then moves away.
Yeah.
Then comes back and doesn't tell her family.
And by the way, took Marigold with her after the child, or at least the mom, or Mrs. Drew. Grew an attachment to the child. And then Edith then goes on, like you said, to take Marigold with her, move away, not tell the family that I'm leaving. Hot mess.
I mean, for me, this felt like kind of like a weak way. I love Downton Abbey, but it was a weak way of how to get Marigold into the Downton Abbey household.
Yes.
Like it was like this a whole loophole of, all right, surprise, she made it into the household. She's accepted by the family. Everyone knows except for Mary because Mary doesn't give two shits about her sister.
Exactly. I like that you brought that up, but we'll talk about that relationship a little bit later. But yeah, I mean, I know we were watching it, and the whole time, Kaori and I were just like, oh my God, this is so awkward. Like, why did they not tell the mother? I mean, I keep forgetting her name, Drew.
Yeah. Could have made it so much easier for her. Like, well, the reason why she keeps creeping on our child, not the other 3 that are around, but this one, is because she's the real mom.
Right. I don't know if it would have solved anything in hindsight, but it just made it so awkward, those scenes where Edith was like in the little windows or like in the little like cracks staring at the baby, like
in the bricking on, you know, behind the leaves and shit.
And like, I had to say, don't you think this was like their attempt at making Edith's story exciting?
And they kind of failed at it because the way the family always handles Edith is they always brush her off, you know? And even the storyline itself was kind of, all right, well, we're not doing anything, so let's have her run away and come back the next episode.
Right.
It was just not really well played.
Yeah, and our nickname for Edith is, if you guys watch Family Guy, is Edith is Meg.
Yeah, she
of
really
this
is.
family. So, it was whatever. I do feel for, and I'm sure we'll get to him on the list, I do feel for Mr. Drew.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know that he'll be on this list
Well,
because
let's
these are the
talk about
main
Mr.
characters.
Drew.
Yeah, Mr. Drew, who was, the firefighter who, came after Edith had set her room on fire purposely. He came, and he's the one, obviously, the farmer that took the child in the last season.
Yep.
And here we are, and he's struggling to keep the secret.
And I'm thinking, damn, he must be in love with Edith because
in some way,
he's
right?
Like sacrificing so much. He's risking his marriage with his wife, just for sympathy. I don't know about that.
I'm not sure. It's so weird.
It was really weird that how he was on the train. She's like, "I'll pay your fare. Just go back and forth. All right, I'll do it for you." It's just.
Do you think that this is the last time we will see him?
I hope not, because I kind of grew an attachment to him, and maybe that's because I kind of felt bad for him.
Yeah.
But I hope not. But I think it might. I don't know what purpose he would have.
Exactly. I mean, unless they really wanted to pursue some sort of love interest with him and Edith, in which case I'm like, that bitch does not deserve that guy. He was way too nice to her in the whole situation. He could have easily just said, you know what, like, I love my wife.
Yeah.
Like, I have to tell her that, like, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. But anyways.
All right. Well, let's talk about Rose.
Okay.
Because she got married in this season.
Yes.
Very quickly, she fell in love with a Jewish guy.
Yes.
And there was a lot of complications between the families because the father wasn't exactly the nicest, most welcoming father.
No.
Then Rose has a bitch of a mom.
Yeah.
What did you think of this whole thing going on?
Oh, it's just so awkward again.
Yeah.
Like really hard scenes to watch with her mom. I don't know who was worse. Like there were a lot of those like people that we just wanted to dismiss in this series, in this particular season, and she was definitely one of them. I mean, talk about being super bitter.
Yeah.
So bitter that you don't care if you spoil the happiest day of your child's life.
Yep. So I thought it was pretty tactless, and it just made me love Rose's father more.
Yeah.
And I really hope he keeps making more of an appearance in Downton Abbey moving forward. But for her to sit there and even her father tried to save her ass saying, I won't tell our daughter as long as you don't ruin the marriage, and she still wants to ruin it with a divorce.
Yeah.
Talk.
What was she trying to get out of it? I guess there was some sort of weird like religious conflict that they wanted to portray in that character because she was like, oh, they are Jewish, blah, blah, blah. But really, did she really think that was going to break up the marriage?
And I think like they were just really trying to make it look like Rose and her man Osmundson, whatever.
Atticus
Osmundson, like how
he's got a great name. Of course, I remember that one.
So Atticus and Rose are married, and they get married, and they have all these complications. But it seems like no matter what, they're still the perfect couple. Yeah, which was really cool.
What did you think about their relationship?
I thought it was really like that love at first sight. It was really cute. I'm not gonna lie, I was really hoping to find that jazz singer back up in the mix with Rose because that was kind of exciting, But Rose managed to win the hearts of everybody, including his father, which was kind of a nice twist. Yeah. And I didn't really like her in the beginning, but she grew on me really quick. She's just very happy-go-lucky. So I'm really happy, and I hope this marriage actually lasts and there's no complications. I hope if they have issues, it's from outer things that have nothing to do with their marriage.
I totally agree. I think I didn't expect that out of all the people that she would be the one at the end of the season married. Yeah. No way would I have predicted that. Yeah. But very cute.
It was really cute. And let's talk about Robert Crawley.
Let's do it. Lord Grantham.
He was this like grumpy case.
Lord Crappy Pants.
Yeah. The whole season, like first of all, Mr. Carson takes the place that the role title that he wanted. Yeah. And then what else happened? There's so much shit. It was hilarious.
He had the whole conflict with Mrs. This is right. We had the whole conflict with his wife.
Oh, God.
And Super Creeper.
Oh, God.
That was hitting on him the whole time.
That was the best. Yeah. But it was like, 6 episodes in where he finally gets to punch something. Yes. Meaning the Mr. Brown.
Yes.
We call him Brown because Mary's first assessment was, wow, he's so brown. Of course she would say
Only
that.
one could be so lucky because she is the lightest skinned out of all of them. But, and he had obviously the conflict with our favorite person, Miss Sarah Bunting.
Yeah. But that's well deserved. I cannot stand that character. And I mean, we'll get to that in a second.
Sure.
But I thought that he was just really grumpy cakes, really struggling with a lot of shit this season. Nothing was going his way.
Yeah.
You know, he finds out that his least favorite daughter has a daughter.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
his dog dies.
his dog dies. That's the worst.
With cancer. That was so sad. That scene was so sad.
It like took 2 episodes of the dog being in the same position for them to be like, all right, he's dying.
Yeah.
And I wanted them to replace the dog. They haven't yet.
No. Apparently they have 2. According to the wiki, but
Isis and something.
and Farrell, but I don't know if that means like one existed in the previous seasons and then another one came in, or if there actually is 2.
What did you think it was merited when when Grantham didn't sleep in the same bed as his wife after he came in and saw that Mr. Brown was hitting on his wife, and nothing happened, and Mr. Brown, I keep calling him Mr. Brown because that's his better.
Yeah, we don't know his name. We really don't care, but you guys probably know who we're talking about. Oh, it's a Bricker or something?
Oh yeah,
Bricker?
brick wall, whatever.
Something, anyways.
Brown. So, do you think it was merited that he was mad at his wife for a while?
I don't know that I would put it all on that, and obviously being in a marriage, like, I think that it was just everything that led up to it, and then finally walking in on that situation and being in that moment.
Yeah.
Where he wanted to just remove himself from just the whole situation.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, of course, he's a little bit mad at Lady Grantham because she knew that this guy, she knew Mr. Brown was like after her and stuff, and she, you know, it's nice to have the attention, but at some point, like even she was like, oh shit, this guy really is serious, especially when he walked into the room.
And then she was like, you need to leave. But it was funny because every single, like, he was telling his own wife the warning signs, like, yo, like, you spend the whole evening with, he does not give 2 shits about your opinion on paintings, you know?
So I don't know. I don't think it's that he didn't think, I don't think Lord Grantham thought something was going to happen. I think it was just more of just everything that built up to the situation and just didn't want to be. But then the fact that he continued to sleep in the other room was really funny. And the fact that she called him out on it and that's how he got back into bed with her. I love her, by the way. But what did you think? What did you think of the situation?
I thought that I didn't want it to drag on. And I like how they abruptly finished it by her saying, look, dude, you're not a saint either.
Yeah.
So get your ass back into bed with me. And he's like, fuck, she's right. Yeah. I mean, go, girl.
I know. She always puts him in check. That's what I like, is that just his character for being the lord of this area will always have his lady to put him in perspective, you know?
Yeah. And there's one thing I kind of want to address is that when we find out in the Christmas episode that he has some kind of illness, they don't really address much of it other than he's like, oh. So what's gonna happen in season 6?
Yeah, they're building it up to something. Scary though.
That's really scary, and I don't like the thought of that. Let's talk about Tom.
Yes,
because he is kind of like the illegitimate Crawley, I guess.
Yeah.
But they adopted Crawley, and they've completely now accepted him as one of their own, even though he kind of came from downstairs originally. And he has started taking an interest in some bitch named Sarah, and she is pretty much what he used to be, but 10 times worse, a lot more black and white, and her coming into this house was so annoying.
Yeah.
Every scene with her, I just was like, delete, delete, please. I couldn't handle it. What'd you think?
She was just extreme. I totally agree. We were on the same page about her.
I really hope they don't bring her back.
It was just, like, I understand that they needed somebody to kind of get Tom to remember, like, what he was so impassioned about when Sybil was even still alive, and that kind of socialism that he believes in. But she was too much. I'm so glad they didn't end up together. Yeah,
I'm so glad they did. And I just pray that they don't bring her back because she was just not likable, and even like getting under his the Lord Grantham's skin all the time. It's just unnecessary stuff, and it was just was she there to really irritate us? Because it worked. It was quite effective.
Yeah, it was really effective. I think they definitely wanted somebody to go to that extreme, to push Lord's buttons, you know? And I think both of us agreed when that dinner party happened and they got into that shouting match that she could have clearly stopped that argument.
Yep.
And she just kept going. And that's when you and I were both like, no, bye, Felicia. You got to leave right now.
She was way too much. And the whole time I was thinking, Tom, you're not, like, she's not good enough for you.
Yeah.
Like, you're so much better.
I agree.
Okay, and there's some really fun, interesting ones, too. We find out that the Countess had a love interest as well. It wasn't a saint back in the day. She almost ran off with a prince.
Her little Russian prince lover.
And there was something so romantic about that.
Yeah.
It's so cute to see her kind of have like a meltdown or like a heart, like be sensitive about that. And I love that. And I love that we found a more backstory about her.
Yeah, big time. I mean, we'll never ever get to meet her husband.
No. Sadly.
But I mean, we found out, like you said, we found out so much about their history and just the, you know, her being torn between two men.
Yeah.
And actually almost having a completely different life than what she has now.
Yeah, and like right when you think you could not love her anymore, you just love her more because you feel kind of, I feel you. It sucks to, you know, be in that situation. But then what else is also really cute about her is in this season, I think she evolved more in terms of emotionally.
Yeah.
Because you see her cry when she thinks that her best friend is going to get married.
I know. Both of us were like, cute.
Team Amasian in 20 years.
I know.
50 years, 60 years.
That's going to be us. What is that lady's name?
She's also Lady Crawley. Isabel. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they have such a cute relationship.
I think so too.
And it's finally nice to see the Countess open up about how much she actually cares about her.
I love it.
And they play off each other so well.
Yeah, like they pick on each other, they tease each other.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the evolution from season 1 and how much they hated each other to now and how much they rely on each other. I just love it. It's so good. And we also have Mary, who is kind of juggling two guys.
As always.
I think this was kind of her weakest storyline of all seasons together.
Totally agree.
So what, they decided that she didn't want to be with this whatever his name is.
Tony?
Green guy. Not green. Him, whatever.
Yeah.
And then she wants to, like, swap fiancés or whatever. It was just weird.
Yeah, so there was Tony and Charles, I think are their names.
Okay.
And at the end of last season, she was still kind of in between both. You know, we had that whole, like, we talked about that one scene where Charles was actually really cute in the pig pen with her trying to save all the pigs. Was cute. And then so we get to this season and she's like, still, I don't know, always Mary, like, I don't know what to do. She has a nice little 2 or 3 day fling with Tony, you know, sex. And then like
and makes Anna go get the condom. Yeah. Which sucks.
We'll get to that too.
Oh, God.
But then she decides she doesn't want to be with him. What did you think of that decision?
All I'm saying is he must have been really bad in bed.
I know.
That's the only thing I think about.
And the best part was that was the first thing he asked her when she said, I don't want to be with you. Remember? He was like, am I not a good lover? And she's like, no, you are, like, lying through her teeth.
And it was just weird how, like, they kind of how they ended that situation where he didn't want to leave. And he's like, oh, no, you're not leaving me. And then at the end, he left because he saw a kid. It's so weak.
It was a little odd.
Yeah, it was not the strongest point
You're
there.
absolutely right. Yeah, I think they kind of just threw together what they could.
Yeah,
and then
weird.
At the end of the day, Mary's alone. Even still.
I think she's going to end up alone, honestly.
I think so too. And if she actually ever gets hitched, I think that will be the last season.
Well, she barely even cares for her son, to be quite honest. She's never
it's
around.
Really weird, right?
I'm starting to, like, go up and down with her. You know, at first I wasn't too fond of her, but then you grow to really love her. But this season it just kind of laid flat with me for her. But Isabel also is proposed to. Yes. And sadly, what happens with her is that her fiance doesn't end up staying as a fiance because her fiance's children hate her.
Their dicks.
Well, even that. I mean, it just felt like they were throwing in a lot of ideas and plots that just kind of just laid flat this season, right?
Yeah,
it was
because
weird.
when you take who we've talked about so far, right?
Yeah.
We talked about Mary, we talked about Edith, we talked about Tom. I feel like while they might find themselves like Tom's going to be in Boston when we come back or whatever, nothing really significant changed though.
No, I mean, except Edith got confirmation that her man was dead.
Right.
We knew all along.
She's got her child in the house now, but
yeah,
really nothing. Like Mary ended up kind of
being the same.
They
all did.
They all kind of did.
Except for Tom leaving. Hopefully, I really hope season 6 opens with him saying, I want to come back to England with my Downton family.
I don't know how it's going to be.
It's going to be rough.
Like, they described him perfectly in one of the last episodes of the season where they said he's kind of just been the glue. Like, he's been that person in the house that's kind of brought, upstairs and downstairs and kind of, kept things moving. And, he's not going to be around.
So let's talk about downstairs. And let's talk. I would kind of want to wait for this part, but it's such a good part. Let's just talk about it.
Let's do it.
Because in the Christmas episode, Mr. Carson proposes to Mrs. Hughes.
I
and
know.
She calls him a booby and says, of course I'm going to marry you. It was the best thing ever. It's the best part of the whole entire season.
It really made the season, right?
Yeah, it so did.
I mean, the whole time, every time they were in a scene together, Corey would always be like, you guys just kiss already. Like,
yeah, just fuck.
They're like our favorites, and I'm with you when you said that you wanted a Mr. Carson in your life all the time.
Yeah.
To be like, no one is good enough or even half as good enough for you, Mary. Like every time he comes to her and says those words, it's like,
yeah, he's so cool.
Yeah.
And the fact that he wants to go, he was trying to be all like, let's be chums, let's just go into a property together. And then realizing, shit, she has no money, but I just can't imagine growing old with anyone else but her.
That's so
and he
sweet.
straight up says, there's no one else that I will marry. And for a second there, I thought she was going to be just, that's so sweet of you, but that's not going to happen.
Right.
And then he thought so too, because he was kind of like, oh, what are we toasting to?
I know.
So cute.
I want to watch that scene over again.
I know.
I think we've all been waiting for that, right?
It was the best moment of this whole season.
No two people as deserving. I think I loved it better than Anna and Mr. Bates getting together.
Actually, I was really happy when Anna and Mr. Bates got together, but, what they've been doing with this whole prison shit it's starting to get really stale.
Right? Can they just be happy? Like
he died last season. He done. Can we just call it a day? He just fell, I don't
He just fell. Like, why do people care so much about this asshole who raped all these ladies?
There's like a lineup with like all these ladies who've been raped and they're still like, no, dude, like we don't care how these girls felt.
That's so ridiculous.
Yeah. And then Anna goes to jail and then Mr. Bates runs away and confesses. It's just, this storyline has kind of degraded Anna and Mr. Bates' relationship to me. I think I want to see more of them developing, maybe her getting pregnant, because we as viewers love their romance and they just made it whack this season.
Yeah.
It just did.
It was like reverse. Like her being in Mr. Bates' role. And like, just let them be happy. I totally agree.
And there was like moments, when they were starting to develop their romance where we would be like, I can't wait to watch the scene with them. And now it's like, all right, so what's going to happen next? Who's going to jail next? That's the next thing we're thinking about.
It took us all season to get that scene that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't until the very last minutes of the Christmas special that we got that really sweet moment between them.
And then we just missed that.
Yeah.
But so where we are downstairs right now, there's some sweet moments. We have Daisy being kind of annoying too, because she's on the influence of
she's empowered.
Sarah.
She wants to do something with her life, which
Suddenly,
is good.
Yeah, I mean, go girl, but
a little extreme at some points.
But that's also, to me, I don't know how much further they're going to develop on that, because it was like that the whole entire season, except for at the Christmas episode when she realizes she still wants to hang out with Miss Padmore.
Yeah, she realized how sad Miss Padmore was going to be. I can't see downstairs without Daisy and Mrs. Padmore together.
They're so cute together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can only hope, like, this. I would love if Downton went on for like 15 more seasons, but doesn't it kind of start to feel like at least some of the main characters we started with are starting to like slowly wrap up?
I feel that way too. You know, a lot of them are gone, or just things are just they're not quite sure what to do with a lot of the storylines, which is really just frustrating.
Yeah,
you know, like let them grow.
I agree.
You know, in positive ways. Don't keep giving them conflicts.
Yeah,
and stupid ones at that. To be honest with you, we have new characters. But I did grow fond of Mrs. Baxter. Grew fond of her.
I totally agree.
She's a robber, we find out, and she's cool. I will say this, considering all the negative things we've been saying, and I apologize for that, I do think that Lady Crawley, a.k.a. Cora, was really good in this particular season.
Oh, yeah.
She's always great.
She's always one of my favorites.
She's shown in this one.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think it's nice for her to get some attention from a guy, even though he's a little creepy.
Mr. Brown.
It was nice to see. It was nice to see that, too.
So what did you think of Baxter and Mosley and Thomas?
Oh, that little kind of weird...
Yeah.
Let's start with Thomas.
Okay.
Because I think if you were to go downstairs, he is kind of like, for me, the top character in the downstairs area.
You know you're going to... If I was an actor, I'd be like, yeah, I want to play that one.
Yeah.
I want to play that one.
I mean, he is in everybody's mess, and he wants to be. And it's funny because we see that, especially in the last episode where they're like wanting to cause conflict with the other butler that attends to, I forget his name, Atticus's parents or whatever.
Andy, right?
Yeah. And they wanted to cause some conflict, and they went to Thomas because they know, like he loves that stuff. He thrives on that
Andy,
stuff.
The butler. Sorry, what's his name? Stoll.
Yeah, Stoll the asshole. Yeah. But yeah, Thomas is so great. He's so, like, to me, has so many layers. He has so much complexity. And that, like, one day he'll get along with Miss Baxter, and then the next day he's not, right?
I always constantly wonder why the fuck do they keep this kind of guy as the help when even they don't fully trust him.
Yeah.
But I guess there's something about him. And then, you're right. Complexity is perfect word for him because as bad as he is, there's a lot of sensitive things about him. Like he doesn't like talking about his dad. He was suffering because he was trying to turn straight.
Yeah.
That was a big one.
Yeah, I totally. They got a lot of issues in this season. Like, they tackled a lot of stuff in this season.
I mean, I wanted them to talk more about that.
That was really interesting.
Because, this is also, obviously a television show, a period piece. And it would be interesting for them to touch base on, like, how maybe someone in that era dealt with some,
being
homosexual.
Yeah, for sure.
That's something that would be interesting instead of these stupid plot lines about Mr. Green is dead. Let's go find out why.
Right.
I
think within the house, everyone knows each other's business. And downstairs, I'm sure everybody that's downstairs knows that Thomas is gay.
Yeah.
And they have learned to deal with it. But it's that moment that he steps outside of the house. And I would like you said, I would love to see it too. And how do you deal with it? And it was so sad to hear. Like, did you think that was why he was looking all sick? Would you have suspected that was the reason?
No, I thought he was doing drugs. I thought he was, I thought maybe he had like AIDS or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if that developed back then. Sorry, I'm a little ignorant when it comes to that. But I thought he had some kind of like illness.
Yeah, definitely. So did I. And the fact that he turns to Miss Baxter, who he's been bullying the whole season, that's where you start to see, like, he comes to the aid of Edith when she's in the room and the room is on fire. Like, that's where Thomas, like, redeems himself. Like you said, it's a constant struggle for a viewer because you're like, one episode you love him, the next episode you hate him.
Yeah.
And that's why we love him.
and Baxter, I like her too because she started off last season, a couple seasons back, last season I was thinking, we really don't need another bitch in the house.
Right.
But she just made a complete 180.
Especially after we got rid of Miss O'Brien.
So then she became really cool. Mosley always, falls short.
So dopey. So cute, though.
With the fake hairspray, paint, whatever.
Hey, Mr. Bates has a lot to owe him, though,
and yes,
at the end of the day.
Mr. Bates has been saved by Mosley, which is great. And I like how sweet he is and how kind he is.
He is.
And then we have that one guy who gets caught having sex.
Is it Jimmy, I think?
Oh, yeah.
That was like in the first episode.
That's the one that Daisy used to like too, right?
Yeah. And so did
funny.
Thomas.
Yeah. That's right. And then Thomas, tries to save him.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool.
They became chummy, but yeah, he was gone pretty quickly.
Yeah, peace out.
Yeah, I wonder if he's
like, I got a new role.
He's got something else going on.
I know.
Yeah, that was interesting.
And another downstairs issue was in the Grantham house, the Countess Grantham house.
Oh, yeah.
With her awkward turtle butler and her maid.
What the hell is her maid's name? It starts with a D.
I don't it's like Dak. No, I don't know. It's like the complete opposite of Carson and Hughes. It was hilarious. Like, they kept trying to get each other in trouble.
Yeah.
During the Christmas episode with the broth. It was great.
Yeah, they were just after each other the whole time, and both of us are saying we would love to see a spin-off of just that.
Them two. It's like little kids like trying to like mess with each other's heads.
And the best part is, Lady or Countess is just like, I can't get rid of them because I don't want to try to hire anyone else. But I think at the same time, she thrives on that conflict because when she went down to taste the broth,
she hated that
clearly lied.
Yeah.
So I think it's just because she likes the fact that they keep bickering at each other.
Yeah. Yeah. So it makes the house lively.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
And then also, what else? We had Patmore asking for a memorial for Archie, which she finally got, which was very nice.
Yeah, cute.
So all in all, it was a lot of crap going on.
I think, yeah.
I'm sure we missed things. Again, I love Downton Abbey. It wasn't their strongest season, but I still enjoyed the season.
Yeah, and I'll still continue to watch and everything.
Absolutely. And I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen without Tom. I'm going to miss him.
Tell me, what are your predictions for season 6?
Man, I'm kind of worried season 6 might be their last season.
Me too.
Because it just sounds like they're running stale on ideas. I really think Anna's going to get pregnant. Mm-hmm. That's where I would like it to go. I would be totally okay if they stopped looking for the murderer.
I was going to say, can they just get rid of it in the first 5 minutes of next season?
I would love to see the season finale being Carson and Hughes getting married.
Yeah.
I would rather see that than Mary getting married with some Joe Schmo that's been suckered into her beauty and her intelligence and all that bullshit.
Because if Mary was so damn perfect,
why
has well, I guess I take that back because she did have Matthew, who, and in my opinion, I guess was her best match for
he put up with
all
a
the
lot
seasons.
though.
Yeah,
with her,
yeah,
a lot of crap. What do you predict?
Same thing. I want it to be Mrs. Hughes and Carson. I definitely want to see that. I want to see them go all out. And I want to see how. I'm very curious because we in the last few seasons have seen Lord Grantham struggle with dealing with going from how it was before to modern times, and then this season we see them introduce the wireless. Yeah. Last season we saw them get the telephone. And it's kind of that to catch up historically, everyone in this season was preparing for life that is not like how they're used to, being the downstairs help and having the Lord and family live upstairs. They're all preparing for that. And so I would love to see where Lord Grantham ends up in the end. Yeah. Because to me, sure, Mary is one of the main characters and they love to follow her love story. But I think, in my opinion, the story is always going to be centered around Lord Grantham and kind of his growth through history. And I just want to see where he ends up.
And I think that all of that's really interesting. But I think that for me, downstairs is always worth it.
Yeah. And I think I read that they're going to really focus on downstairs in the next season.
Good. It's like, there's so much nitty gritty down there.
There is.
It's a good one. So, all right, guys. Well, sorry if we missed anything. And if we did, drop a comment below.
Yes, or email us.
Yeah, teamamasian@gmail.com. Ask us anything. Thanks for tuning in. We are kind of wiped out. We just went through hours and hours of Downton season 5.
Totally worth it, though.
Worth it. Wakame was dreaming of Downton. Trooper. Yes. So follow us, Team Amasian, on Instagram as well as Twitter. There's our website right there, teamamasian.com. Tell a friend a day. Drop a comment, like, subscribe, and all that juicy stuff. And catch this particular channel for more Team Amasian content. And we will catch you guys very, very soon. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.